Cemetery Commission to order at 9:01 on May 9th.
So the first thing on the agenda is
Email.
from Michael from AmeriCorps. And after the last meeting, you guys recommended that we do some work down at the Lathrop Cemetery. So Dory, as she is, went right on to the AmeriCorps website and typed up a request. And we have a date. So on June 27th, they'll be going out there. They'll be clearing the property and installing a split rail fence. And the only thing we have to do is purchase the split rail fence. There's only a few, it's not very many pieces, but we do have some older split rail fence that is down behind the DPW barn. So if we might want to go take a look at it, and if it's something we want to use, then we can reuse that.
Oh, I think if it's,
Okay.
as long as it's viable wood,
Yeah.
As long as it's in one piece.
yeah, have them use it.
Okay. So
I would.
do I have a motion to use
So I'll make
that?
a motion that as long as the cedar split rail behind DPW is viable,
Okay.
not rotted, big enough, long enough, covers what we want, then I say use that.
Okay. And,
Yeah.
okay, Cindy
All in
said-
favor?
Aye.
So be it.
Okay. I got a email from Carrie Sims. She is the Girl Scout, one of the Girl Scout leaders, and she had initially emailed Amy Uzowski. They had some extra trees that were left over, and they wanted to find some town property that they could plant them on. They're red maple saplings, so I said we would be glad to take them. And I think not just in Island Pond, but some of the other cemeteries as well. So I'm going to work with her, and we're going to see if we can get the girls to plant them. We'll probably take some photos and show it to you.
Those might be nice on Bank Street.
We won't be able to water them there, though. That's
Right.
the problem.
Yeah, good point.
So, and we did lose a lot of trees at Mount Pleasant and in Evergreen as well as Island Pond. So, we might divide them up. Sorry,
That's why I don't knock that over.
I'm so thirsty lately.
Then I'll create a mess.
So I'm just letting you know that this is gonna, and nobody has any objections to this?
No.
Okay.
Just, they gotta put them in some place where the guys won't mistake them for something and blow them over.
Yeah, good point.
Being a foot tall.
Yeah, I will.
Either a little fencey thing around them or.
Yeah, so what I
maybe
normally
stake 'em
do is,
or-
we have, me and Dory have been mulching around all the new trees that we've put in, so that way, that's kind of like a barrier. Please don't mow or weed whack this.
It's up to Jim and Pete, but cover it too,
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
And then we got New England Cemetery Association Annual Meeting and Conference.
Yeah, we have the annual meeting and conference coming up. It is in Concord, Mass. And as usual, I always put this in there because Cindy in the past has attended events, and so have you. Rob, have you ever been to any of the events? Not yet?
I'm a remote kind of guy.
Okay, you're a more kind of guy. Anyways, I am on the board of directors as well as I attend these a lot. They're doing a lot of different things. One of the sales programs they're having is a Sales with Sympathy, which talks about, and they're having a psychiatrist come in and speak to people on dealing with people under special grieving situations, which I think is going to be really good. So there's quite a few good speakers, and as usual, I have to ask if I can attend.
Yeah, so I move that, anybody else want to go?
I don't know if I can or not. I gotta
Why not?
check the dates.
Yeah,
Yeah, you look at the calendar and see how Kim's.
yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, as in previous years, I move that we fully pay for Robin's trip, and if either of you two want to go, I mean, you probably won't, but if you want to go, I move that we pay for Cindy's
Okay.
full expenses.
That's what I'm gonna do, is interesting.
No second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Robin's going on a road trip.
So
it's unanimous.
never mind, it's-
Okay.
Now, old business.
Can we do one other business real quick?
Sure.
You know,
Oh, I
I always forget after you and I chatted yesterday about being you're on the board of directors of two organizations?
Yes, the Massachusetts Cemetery Association in New England, but I am getting off the board in the Massachusetts Cemetery Association. Because I didn't have the time commitment for them.
I would like, if it's okay with you,
Yeah.
I would like you to give me a real brief resume.
Okay.
Because you got a lot of good talking points about you, gold stars, whatever, and I think that should be a subnote on our page.
Okay. All right.
Not, it's probably against some kind of town bizarre rule, but I just kind of think that background information
Okay.
should be readily available as opposed to, don't just call Robin.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some firepower back in your past, so
Well, thank you.
it is Military Appreciation Month, so.
Hence the sweatshirt.
Hence the sweatshirt, the hat for my son, 22 a day suicides of military veterans. And don't forget that on the 12th, since I have the floor, is Military Spouse Appreciation.
Oh, I didn't know that.
My wife is a former, and my son is married to one. So. Okay, off my soapbox. Continue.
Okay. You all set?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Up-to-date totals on the revolving account and cemetery budget.
Yes. So I try to save these and staple them separately. I try to, when I copied, it would make it easier because I think you guys fumble around sometimes, and I'm thinking this would be easier for you.
Yeah, we just couldn't find things someday.
Yeah. So the up-to-date totals are, we've taken in $53,685 in lot sales, $7,500 in administration fees, $2,925 in monument markouts, for a total deposit into the revolving account of $64,110. The total money in the cemetery revolving account right now is $108,231.93. And with our encumbered expenses, and one of those is going to be the tree tags that is coming out, and the fence is probably going to be installed this week or next week. So our total available right now is $37,933.98.
That's better than last meeting.
Yeah, I've been selling lots, and I have a lot of appointments coming up as well, and this is usually my heavy selling season. People don't want to go out in the middle of the winter because it's a little too cold, and it's kind of nice to this time of year, especially when everything's blooming, people can see what it's really going to look like in the summertime. So I know I'm meeting a lady in Mount Pleasant probably tomorrow. She's going to buy 4 cemetery spaces, and I have 2 other people that I'm meeting that are going to buy an additional 2 spaces in Island Pond. But I have 3 deeds for you guys to sign for the lot sales that we made the last couple weeks. So we're actually in pretty good shape.
Now, has the bids gone out for the rest of the Veteran
No,
Memorial?
we're gonna, that's later in the, in the.
Should probably read the whole thing.
That's okay.
Review of the town meeting articles, rules and regulations, CPC article for Revolutionary War Memorials.
Yes, very exciting. Unfortunately, as you guys know, I couldn't attend, and you guys did a great job representing
Yes, you did.
us at town meeting. So, very excited that the rules and regulations passed. I don't even think, did anyone even?
There was nothing said about the rules. Oh, and I did check. He did support
Okay, oh,
for our
good.
conversation. The
Yeah.
only person that was against anything was Mr. McCready,
Okay,
Finance Committee. He was against the monument, and he might have been in the same camp of the gentleman that I got up to rebut.
Okay.
For lack of that's still too strong a word. I mean, he had a good point.
Yeah.
You know, we're having these memorials, and why shouldn't they be where everybody can see them? I'm
Right.
like, well, just drive through the cemetery, but he didn't understand the whole concept, and
right.
so.
Yeah, I did get a phone call from the town of Dennis this morning on our Revolutionary War Memorial. They did hear about, they were very excited that we are doing it and wanted to know my process and asked for my PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
So I think they're planning on doing one themselves, which is very exciting.
Well, I think if we can get the drawings done, I'll bring that up later. But
Yeah.
Then we can.
So
publicize that.
Steve was down there last week. He is the guy who does Steve Littman, who is the person who is in charge of the cemetery software for Evergreen.
Oh, yeah.
And he walked the pathway with me and did a flyover, and he's kind of tried to do a rendering of the pathway
Sweet.
with
Nice.
the monuments in their places. So he's the one who actually also drew the rendering for us originally that you guys.
That small one, yeah.
That you guys were looking at, which we still have to, it'll still be a process. We don't get the money till July 1st, and I still have, I think, 30 more of them to completely vet to make sure they're Harwich veterans and not Dennis or Chatham. So after we finish all that, we'll then go through the book again. And then we'll have at one meeting, we'll give you guys maybe 3 or 4 different options of what you guys want exactly the memorial to look like. I also was reached out recently by Duncan, and he wants to know if somebody gave what would the significant donation be to have somebody's name put on the back. So for instance, if
In the back of,
the memorial. So if on the back of the memorial, he's saying if somebody was to donate a significant amount, I'm just going to go with $5,000. Could the DAR or the SAR have their name
on the back.
saying helped or whatever? I mean, I think we should put the CPC's name on it anyways, saying I don't know how you guys even want that worded, but. And we could do, also, there was, some people have been starting to give me $20 here, $20 there. Not that we would put any of their names on it, but we could say the community at large also gave donations. So,
You could do it, WGBH style,
okay,
public broadcasting,
Yeah.
you guys watch Masterpiece or anything.
Yeah.
Where they will say, Masterpiece Theater is supported by
right.
the so-and-so foundation.
So I think we could also have a web.
And viewers like you, so.
We could also do a page, Steve said, on the website that where the memorial park is, and when it shows the monument, he can say contributions were received by, and we should ask them if they wanted their names listed. Some people do not want their names listed on such a thing. They could see some are anonymous. Some of them are going to want.
Well, you just don't want to run into how come my name's not on there?
Right. No, but
we don't have the space. It's a cost, and we only did it for a significant.
So I need you guys to come up with that amount, because Duncan would like to get that amount because he has 4 different agencies he's working with that want to give a donation and for the memorial.
For the Revolutionary War one.
Yeah.
They're going to be memorial specific.
And I think he has.
Yeah, that was where I was.
Yeah, and then the other one is he has somebody, I believe, that wants to give it to the Civil War. So there'd be 2 totally different ones. So
I'm just looking ahead to the future.
right.
And I hate to have it dry up as we.
Yeah.
Moving on down the
We
wall.
gotta go 1812 and then.
Yeah.
Do they normally put these on the back of those monuments? Or
They
is it a
normally
separate
do.
plaque?
Yeah, they normally do. I've gone to a couple different places, and the memorial will be on the front because you don't want to take away from the actual veterans. They're they're the focal point. So you want that front and center. You can put on the back. I've seen it at a couple different places. On the back where it says this monument was dedicated through funds from, and it would list.
Mhm.
So I mean, we could look at different places and see how
Get
they.
some examples.
Yeah, and to be perfectly honest with you, it's going to have to pay for that engraving. So you want to think each letter is like $10.
Well,
We'll just go with that.
Yes and no. I mean, a significant donation,
Yeah,
and if 10% of the donation, I'd like to know what. I mean, if it went up and then Tommy had to run over, or an
Yeah.
engraver had to run over and throw it on,
yeah,
what would it cost?
yeah.
So, I mean, if it's 50% of their donation, then it's like, oh,
Yeah, so well, it
We
wouldn't
would like
be.
to, but
Yeah, so if you did the Sons of the
Diminishing
American
returns.
Revolution, or whatever, the Cape Cod chapter, or whatever you're gonna put on it, we would have to have a limited amount of characters, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I think you guys should come up, and Duncan's kind of waiting for that number. I don't know if you guys
which
want to
number?
give it a number what he can tell them, because they want to give us a check.
Oh,
They just don't want to give us $1,000 check and find out if they gave us a $5,000 check, then they could have their name on the back. So he thinks it's important that we have that, a number.
are we on C?
I'm sorry, did I
Phases.
jump? Did I jump?
No, I just wanted to,
Well,
Yeah, we might have jumped, we might have melded into that.
well, because we had the rules and regulations, and then it was the Revolutionary
no,
War.
I just didn't want to overstep.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's part of the phases, is we
Right.
need to, that's having the plan.
Right,
And I think for accountability, I'll try and bite my tongue unlike some organizations that have no accountability for town meeting
yeah,
night one. We want to be able to put even the starting thing.
Right.
This project started here, this is the initial design, this is what it's going to look like.
okay,
And like at our last meeting where we had to backtrack and go, wait a minute, where's this money going? The
Yeah.
40,000 we
Yeah.
had approved. It's like, well, wait, we already got the flags. It's already done.
yeah,
Okay, well, it needs to say that somewhere.
Okay.
We need to be able to go and say, this phase one was the design.
yeah,
Phase two, we moved the what do you call it thing?
Gazebo.
The gazebo.
yeah,
Phase three, we procured the flags and
yeah, right. And then we had to re-engineer with Paul Sweetser.
yeah, so it was a
And-
minor set. Well, I don't think we have to advertise a minor setback.
Yeah.
But we re-engineered based on cost and
Right.
size and we're moving ahead. We're trying to be
Okay.
good with our money,
Right.
you know?
So we, I probably could do a timeline for the next meeting, which would be, so you wanna,
Well, I mean, I'm more than happy to come over and work on that with you, but
Yeah.
it should be, yeah, I mean, you can either, there's lots of different ways to do it.
Yeah.
But it should be like a vertical,
right,
if you go horizontal, people won't look at it.
Right.
You need
Yeah, if it's in a
scrolling
column.
this way, people
Right.
scroll this way,
yeah,
you know? But just show the dates and
Yeah.
completed and,
yep,
I mean, it's
Perfect.
either, we either get Caleb to throw it up on our website or we stick it in this thing on
Okay.
the Google one, but
Okay.
that's.
Yeah.
yeah.
This should all go on the website too.
Yeah, that is gonna go up on the website. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys, I forgot to ask you. So, this is how I put it at the bottom, and that's, I spoke with Elaine, and, she said that would be fine. So I just didn't want to, so approved at town meeting on the 2nd of May, 2023. You guys are all okay with that?
Yeah, so I move that we approve the final cover page.
Okay.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Like,
Aye.
close that check.
That was a good job, well done.
Yes, I am so excited. Okay,
So then on the memorials, if they're donating money,
right.
should it be like everywhere you go, they got major donors and then they get another heading for another amount?
Yeah, so when I did cheerleading, we had platinum, gold, silver. So, I mean, if you were platinum, it was a certain dollar amount. If you were, I don't even know if we should do, I think it should be platinum or gold. I don't even know if you do silver.
Yeah, there's something wrong with having three categories.
Okay,
Platinum, gold, and then the general donation fund that includes all the $20 ones, but
no, but we can't put those on the monument.
just
Yeah, just a
line.
that says, citizens or.
Well, so where are these, how are we going to advertise this or? thank
So
you?
I think what I should do is come up with another, I'm speaking, I think, next, not this Thursday, the following Thursday, at another one of the veterans groups. And when I went to speak at the last one, which was the Marine Corps of Cape Cod. So they are sending in a check. I don't know how much it is, but I probably should reach out to them before they send in a check because after they send in their check, if it's a cutoff and they could have made a different dollar amount and been on the back of the memorial, they might want to be.
So their check is dedicated to either memorial?
I think they were more interested, I think it could be either, but I think they were very interested really in the Revolutionary
Because
War.
we have much more memorials coming
Right, yeah,
where they played a really significant role.
right.
When is, I should know this, my best friend's a Marine. When did they form? They just had their,
Yeah, they just had a celebration of some kind.
something tavern.
Yeah. Anyways,
So how do they normally break down dollar amounts? 1,000 and under, up to 5,000, and then 5,000 plus, or go to 10,000 plus?
I don't know if anyone's gonna be giving 10,000.
What if we put on the back, just major donors, and just
Yeah.
list,
Without putting a dollar amount.
say everything over $1,000.
Everything over $1,000, Cindy, would, the number of characters that we would be
You think?
writing, it would be too much. $1,000 is not enough. It's gotta be more than 1,000.
Yeah.
To be on the back
I'd
of
kinda
the
like to know
monument.
that number from Tom.
So I mean, just if you take each letter is $10, all right?
$10.
That's how much it costs. So if you, so, I don't wanna write on this.
Yeah.
If you just write, let's do the Sons of the American
They
Revolution.
were founded in 1775. Yeah, by Continental Congress.
So Robin's name would be like $130 to engrave.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. It's 26 letters. In the Sons of the American Revolution.
That's $260.
They had $260.
How about major donors? Would be 5,000.
Yeah, I think we could work on words like that instead of having tiers,
Yeah.
that where we just,
And I think it should be up to this amount of characters. Like it can't, so we have the Cape Cod chapter, so it would be Cape Cod, they would have to shrink it down. I don't want them to write the Cape Cod chapter of the American Revolutionary. You know what I mean?
CC.
Yeah,
Everybody knows that.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't realize this, but the masterpiece is a trust. Masterpiece Theater.
Yeah.
We're talking
Yeah.
big donations and stuff. I mean, it costs money to set up a trust.
Right.
But if we treated this town account with an appropriate word that
So
that was not a legal trust.
the perpetual care account is a trust.
Oh.
So,
Well, so, you know something? I would make a motion that you request from town legal
okay,
to create the Harwich Veterans Memorial, not cemetery, memorial trust, to expand the account and funding and project into a trust similar to the perpetual care fund.
so
That's it.
normally in a trust, you receive the donation, but you only can expend the interest. In the-
That's the rule of that trust.
Okay,
that trust,
that's
yeah.
in the perpetual
We
care
have a
one.
trust. I
Yeah,
can do whatever I want to
Okay, all right.
because it's revocable.
Okay,
So that may be
so that's
an
perpetual care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that may be their rules.
Okay.
We need to
we just want to make sure that it's
drag
like
Bill
that.
Kroll in here and
Yeah,
go,
yeah,
explain this,
Okay.
And it may not be worth going through all of that.
Right.
But if we had the trust or a title similar,
right,
then we say, it's a blanket significant contributions to the, and we get rid of tiers, significant contributions to the whatever. I'm looking for people on here that, here, the current donors to Masterpiece Trust include the Darlene Marcos Shiley and the Conrad Previs Foundation. So,
Right.
current donors to, or significant donors to this memorial are the Daughters of the American Revolution. I mean, I would even put Mr. Duncan Berry if he did something.
Yeah.
The Daughters of the American Revolution, the Sons of the Civil War,
Yeah,
the Merchant Marine Foundation, if we do,
Yeah.
a stone for them, you know. And
Okay.
again, I'm trying to look out, Rob's 67, I'm trying to look out when Rob's 87 and how we plant that last brick.
yeah.
I'm walking down my walker.
So you don't trip over it?
A nice smooth one.
Well,
Okay.
as long as I'm doing this and not. But anyway, I mean, don't you think that if we could do something like that,
Right.
then,
I still think I need somewhat of a number to give them, because they want to write checks.
well, all right, so then I would backtrack from, how much the memorial gonna cost?
It's, I think altogether, both memorials are 233,000, so I think it's 200 and,
With significant donations from the CPC.
right,
So then the other side of the equation,
and when I am going to the Brewster CPC, I'm writing a,
oh, yeah, but see, but we already promised at town meeting that anything we don't spend for
Right.
those two memorials
we'll
is
give,
going,
it's going back, correct.
Right, so in one respect,
Mhm.
donations from parties, especially significant ones,
Yeah,
and we acknowledge them on the back, that's all part of the bill.
right.
It might be considered covered, depending on how you want to account for it.
So we'll
You
have,
see what I'm saying?
yeah,
I mean, for every donation we get, that's less CPC dollars we use.
correct.
And if the entire monument, veterans, donors,
Yeah,
is part of the cost,
Yeah, I see where you're going with that.
yeah,
so significant donations, I would consider $5,000. I mean, I don't know, I'm just pulling this,
I think that's good.
and
so,
major donations, or that's major donations, significant donations are $1,000,
maybe 250,
$250?
2,000,
Oh, $2,500?
yeah, I think it
Well,
would,
see, now you're back to tiers. Now you're back to gold, silver, bronze, or platinum. Is platinum higher than gold right now?
yeah, it is. So do we want, so what do you want, 5,000, and I think we should make at least, because some of the smaller groups might only have $1,000, but some of them might have more.
All right, so now let me ask you this. Now granted this monument is big, size of this table?
Oh, it's big.
Okay. So if you had one platinum,
So there,
two golds, and 20, what's the next one we're using? Silver?
yeah.
20 silvers?
So I think you could only go on the monument, I think, if you're above a certain dollar amount. The rest of them will be on the website.
Well, and that's why
Right.
I'm hesitant to go with the tiers.
Okay.
I mean, the tiers are good for, I don't personally donate because I'm
Yeah.
gonna reach a certain level.
Yeah. So should we stay with just the 5,000?
And just put major donors on the stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do
Yeah,
that.
significant contributions too,
Okay.
provided by Mr. Duncan Berry, the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Yeah.
So should we have legal counsel come and set up, or figure out how to set up?
We can also ask them, but right now we already have the account that
Yeah, we
can
have the
receive.
account,
Yeah.
it's called what?
It's a gift account, the Veterans Gift Account.
Veterans Memorial Gift Account. I think.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, so,
And it's a 501.
yes, so perhaps so I would say that turning it into a trust
Yeah.
without the constraints of the perpetual care
Yeah.
initially
Yeah.
or maybe at the end, that's what we want it to do. Because at the end, stones will need replacing, flagpoles may come down in a tornado.
Yeah.
Flags will need to be replaced.
Right.
So maybe at the end, it needs to become a perpetual care trust. Any money that's left over, maybe that should be stated in our.
So I think we're gonna continue to have memorials, so I don't think it's
Well,
like,
we got a ways to go.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Unfortunately, sadly, there will probably be
More.
long after we're gone.
yeah, yeah. So I think there'll be additional. I don't think the fund will not be used. That's, you know what I mean? I think it'll be continually used, unfortunately.
So then, I move that we do make an attempt to recognize significant donations.
Okay,
Good phrase, yeah. Significant donations on the back side of the memorials, clearly visible to the public. And those significant donations are $5,000 or more,
okay.
unless you want to drop it to the 2,500 or,
No, 5,000 be good for that.
okay? Is that
Okay.
good, $5,000?
And Cindy, are you seconding that?
All in favor?
Oh, let me caveat that, sorry. When feasible. For example, Cindy and I are gonna do the Gold Star Memorial,
Right,
but I don't want a plaque on the back that says donated by Robinson Mills.
yeah,
You know, I just want the stone, because that's all we're gonna probably do, and a plaque that maybe says something about the Gold Star organism or
Families,
whatever,
yeah.
but, or dedicated to the families.
yeah.
So that doesn't need to be,
Yeah,
but
so
I
people
imagine
don't,
that's gonna fit that, I don't have no idea, I haven't talked to Tom about it,
yeah,
but I imagine that would fit that criteria, but there's gonna be no room on it. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be big.
yeah,
Retired.
Right.
Not gonna be big.
okay, all right.
You should definitely put on the website, you know, the Gold Star Memorial was
Donated,
Well,
donated by.
you can,
That-
if people
that's
want
fine-
it to
That's
be.
fine later on.
Yeah.
You know, we can, but do we have a memorial website? I don't want Facebook to be that.
No,
I think
No.
Facebook's got one foot in the grave personally,
yeah,
but,
Should have both feet in there.
but, yeah, especially what it's doing to kids. But, anyway, we should have a page.
okay. So we could probably set up a page on,
We have a Marceline page.
yeah.
We should have a Veterans Memorial page at the town website.
And we
So
can
we,
list a
so
lot
we,
more of the
so we
donators or
are
whatever.
going to, because that's part of the Evergreen Cemetery. So evergreencemetery.org, the new website that he's creating, is gonna have a whole veterans
Okay.
section. So, I mean, that's something that's already gonna happen. But we can link it from our town website to that and vice
Yeah,
versa.
so you
back.
have to go by the way people are thinking. If they're
Yeah.
going, oh, I want to help out with this Veterans Memorial, this
Yeah.
is great. Where do I find that? Well, it's part of the cemetery, part of the town of Harwich.
Yeah,
A search on the town of Harwich sends you to the cemetery page, Cemetery Commission page. Right there, Veterans Memorial, even if it takes you to Steve's page.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
Well, it should be linked there somewhere, so we're not having redundant pages of stuff all over
Okay.
the place.
Yeah, I mean, there's a way to do that. I mean, it clicks it and it opens a second window or
Yeah.
tab, you know, however you want to set up the hyperlink.
Okay, so then we'll come up with phases of all this stuff, of
Yeah,
projects.
Robin, you and I will just, why don't we sit down?
Okay.
And we'll,
sure.
you know,
Perfect.
pick your brain and make you.
Yeah, it makes it
miserable.
easier when you're bouncing ideas off of somebody else, so I'd prefer
Well-
that, to be perfectly honest with you. Oh, can I run out real quick? I just want to get the tree tags, they're gonna be coming up, I just want to show them
Oh,
to
yeah.
you guys. Give me 1 second.
Right, you guys take it.
It's like police interrogation. Robin Kelly has left the room at, interview suspended at 9:30. Guess we watched too many cop shows.
I think more of the people could be listed on a website as far as donations goes and their contributions versus
Oh, I think
big ones would be on
everybody
the-
should be listed, yeah.
and put the rest on the back.
Unless they request to be anonymous. We should probably have that as a, some people don't like to do that.
Yeah, we give money anonymously. So.
Whether you're being biblical about it or shooting your own horn, you know?
Yeah, I can't play music.
Doesn't count if you toot your own horn.
Yeah, I know. Don't toot your own horn. I can't play music, so. We get the,
I didn't realize the Marines were that old. I mean, I knew they were the oldest, but.
Very excited
1775.
about these.
Oh, Caleb, you don't want to be here. We're creating all sorts of work for you. Your name has been up about 10 times so far. We can ask Caleb to do this. We can get Caleb to do that. Run!
Anyway,
So before we get to tree tags, we have Bank
oh
Street.
yeah, Bank Street, yeah. So,
Bank Street update.
yes. So, I'm very excited that he went back and, well, from the fence company, and the cost went down. Because we're doing a little bit of a smaller section, and so instead of it being, I think it was 46 or 47,000, it's 4,400. So, and we should be doing it in the next week or two. So that's great news on Bank Street.
And the neighbors are all kept up to date with all
Yeah,
this.
and they
seem
seem
to
pretty
be happy
happy,
with everything.
Here,
yes.
this is the Bank Street one here?
Yeah.
So those are the sections of fence? There's 8 across the back,
Yeah,
14 forward, and 6 across the front.
yeah, and it came out really nice. I mean, I think they're pretty happy, the abutters. So I'm just gonna pull
Did I see
Now,
you had a sign?
were they gonna do the dirt and stuff out in front?
it.
Or re-
That's a tree tags, I think, isn't it?
What?
Oh, yeah. No, I thought we were going to do a sign.
Oh, we are gonna do a sign. So I did call Young and Fancy Signs.
Yeah.
And she hasn't gotten back to me yet. She still has to fix the sign in Island Pond, which the logo just came off.
Right.
And then I asked her about making us a smaller version so that we could look at it, so that you guys could approve it. So I want you guys to look at it first. And I said at least half the size, right? Is that what
Yeah,
you're
it doesn't have
thinking?
to be very big.
And we probably want to do the
Because the
same,
one on Queen Anne Road's not that big of a sign, is or is that the same size?
same size. They're all the same
It looks
size.
smart. It looks good since the trees are gone on either
Yeah,
side of that.
yeah.
That looks much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, this is in the middle of a residential neighborhood.
So we want it subtle.
50%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I don't want it too big. I think it would be
Yeah, so
intrusive.
it's there and.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so people know why it's fenced in.
And if it's, I guess we're gonna go face parallel to the street, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I would hang it so it's not like this on the road, it's like this.
Wait, you go,
The cemetery, the fence is out like this, it hangs like this, so when you drive by, you can see it.
you can read it,
Versus being like this.
Yeah,
or you can read it from both sides? Yeah, right.
just one
It'd be
sided.
more
Just-
expensive
just
to
a
do
one-sided-
two-sided, right?
Correct.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah, we're
you
gonna
know,
just-
One side of it just hangs,
Yeah,
one side.
faces the street.
Yeah.
okay, perfect.
Very good.
All right, so
Now we got tree signs.
So these are the tree signs. So, I don't know if you guys can all see them. So they came out pretty nice. And these are the ones that will go in the ground, so they're covered now with the little shield.
Nice.
But they came out,
Yeah, I saw them
Kinda
yesterday,
nice.
they're very, very nice. Sturdy.
yeah, they're beautiful.
How do these attach?
So those are
Screws,
two,
wire
two
screws?
screws, and
Doesn't
they have a
hurt the
little
tree?
bit of a spring behind it, so that when the tree grows, it'll, yeah.
Oh, very
it'll go.
clever.
Yeah, so
Also, it mounts off the tree like a half inch or something like
it
that.
does, and as the tree grows, it'll, the screw will then
Yeah.
condense. So AmeriCorps will be installing these with the help from Russ Norton, who is the Cape Cod Cooperative Extension Educator. So we
nice.
make sure no one puts the wrong one on the
Yeah.
wrong tree. And so I'm very excited about it.
No, those came out really
this is,
nice.
they really, and for the price, I can't even tell you. I'm thrilled. So I had a couple pictures of them, and I sent them to my friend who works at Mount Auburn, and he was like, wow, those tree tags are pretty nice. Because they only do the little teeny tree tags,
Yeah.
which are very difficult to read. So these are very nice because they're very easy to read. It has a scientific name, the common name, it has a description, and all the local artists, Bernadette Wastack was one of the artists, all of the drawings that she had sketched for us will give, illustrated by Bernadette Wastack, which is kind of nice. We have quite a few other artists as well, but I can't wait till they're installed. And I am doing a tree tour with the master gardeners, and I'm excited that they'll be installed before then. So,
Nice,
very excited.
pretty cool.
Let us know when that is. if
Yeah,
you-
I will. I think we have 57 people already signed up. I don't know how many more. We
Wow.
might have to have a couple other people help me be docents, so I might have to drag you in, Cindy.
Do you know the date that might?
I have it on my computer, but I'll send it to you.
Thanks.
It's not for the general public, it was specifically for
Right.
them, so I didn't wanna.
So, do you have any other old business?
I did, finally hear back from, and I got in the, solution to clean the stones, cause we were completely out, and then they were out of it. But then it finally got delivered, which I'm very excited, cause I have 7 volunteers who do, the cleaning of the stones.
That's the.
Yeah, and actually the price went down too, which was even more bizarre from the last time we got it. Yeah, it was, I checked it from last year, so it's just a little bit, it was still over $1,000, but it was almost $1,100 last year, but it's $1,011.78. And I already have 3 people coming today to pick up some containers. And if you've been to any of the cemeteries around town, you'll see that how many of the stones they've cleaned. I mean, in North Harwich, we had a couple. They cleaned almost all of those stones, which is great because we're going to have that dedication of that Revolutionary War plaque that Duncanberry did get with the Sons of the American Revolution, which is coming up. I think it's going to be closer to Memorial Day. I'm not sure the date. They were working with the DPW to get the sign installed. But very exciting that they've done, we've got all these volunteers. If we had to pay someone to clean all these stones, it would be astronomical. And to get this product for $1,000 and then have all these volunteers clean it, we save so much money.
Does this have to be voted on?
We do it every year, but I guess you can if you want to.
I mean,
We got to pay for the bill,
and it's
so,
coming out of, but is it in the bills?
yeah, it's in the
Oh,
bills, yeah.
never mind, then we don't have to.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna approve the bills.
Yeah, hopefully.
So when are they gonna do the,
Water.
I just,
the plaque on North
our
Harwich?
precision,
You know what I'll do? I'll send you guys an email. I know that they were hashing around a date.
The Atlas.
yeah, Atlas is not here, but it's on there.
It's on the bills, yeah.
Okay, so, all right, well, that's new business. We'll
Yeah,
get to
okay.
that.
Now, the cemetery fee schedule, under new business.
Yes, the fee schedule, which we desperately need to do. So, this Saturday, I had 4 burials. So, Jim did 2 and I did 2. We had one at 10:30 in Island Pond, one at 11 in Evergreen, one at 1 in Evergreen, and one in South Harwich at 1. So clearly I can't be in 2 places at the same time. So Jim worked. When he works on a Saturday, he gets a 4-hour minimum at time and a half. So I looked at several of the other towns, and some of them just changed their fee. So their fee for an internment, administration fee for
The weekend or holidays?
well, they don't do holidays. They only do Saturdays. So none of the other towns do holidays or Sundays, which is in our rules now anyway. So which is great. But if they had to do a Saturday burial, some of the towns do a $200 administration fee, and some of the towns were doing a $250 administration fee. So that would cover the hours plus the initial administration fee. So if you took Jim, I think he makes, I'm gonna go with like $30 an hour, we'll say that,
Yeah.
times, and, a time and a half at 4 hours, that's what he's getting paid.
No, that was a frown of disapproval, not paid enough, sorry.
Okay, so anyways, if you take that,
Hard labor, I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
I've been there, I worked for the town.
yeah, I just. I'm
It
sorry.
might be 32, but I'm
Okay,
not sure.
But
But
we can't do that because there are raises involved cost of, new contracts.
So that's
occur.
why
We'll be
it's-
doing this every 6 months.
Yeah, so that's why some of the other towns have gone with the flat fee. Instead of doing it times their, whatever the person being, they say if you do a Saturday burial, it's $250.
Oh, well, I mean, we could do that round up so that, remember, because the goal of this is to not be negative. It shouldn't cost us money
To
to
do
do
a-
a Saturday burial.
Correct.
Any burial shouldn't
Right.
cost us money.
Right. So,
See, it was
when I
35
do a
times.
burial, I don't get paid, so that the town's really not out because I'm salary. But when they do a burial, that's the cost.
Well, wait, time out. Why can't any Saturday burial incur a flat rate fee? Whether you do it or James does it.
Right.
And it
Well, I
either
think it's-
covers him
Yeah,
through the accounting office,
right.
or it goes into our
So
fund.
I know that Kim had,
Because we can't pay you.
right. Kim reached out to me,
Kim,
she is the executive secretary, DPW. And so she said, this year with all the burials that we've had, because we've already had 42 burials, and it is May, that the DPW will be in a deficit because they've been paying, when I was out for 2 weeks on vacation. And so they had to pay him when I was out on vacation, and then we've just been having all these burials. So all of these things are adding up, and so they're gonna have to ask for an exclusion at the end of the year, or an increase, because their salary and wages will be over. So normally, when me and Brian used to do ground penetrating radar, and we would go to other towns, and we would scan, what would happen is, I would then send a portion of how much his salary would be back to the DPW to make them whole. So we took in $1,500 for whatever the week, but he worked 40 hours. I would pay them his salary so that he was working for us then, not the DPW, so they would make them whole.
So we come out of our budget versus theirs.
And no, it would come out of the fees that we collected, not out of our budget.
well, I still think that would be the easiest way. That way
Right.
we're in charge.
Right. So if we took in, I just think
What's the math?
250 would be,
I think so, because if he was $35 an hour,
Yeah.
coming out to 52 something time and a half,
Yeah.
four is $210. So I think $250 would cover most the
Right.
expense for a long time.
yeah.
Okay. So,
So I think not only you guys are gonna vote on it, but then I have to ask, Joe, if we have to go before the Board of Selectmen to change our fees. I don't know that we do, but I can
well,
ask.
that's what, it was done on the 11th, but I thought you asked that question, because
Yeah.
I remember I read that, and you said we don't have to do that.
I wanna confirm, though. I just
Oh,
wanna.
I think we should.
I think I just would like to be safe on that. I know that when they raise fees at, say, the dump, even though those are astronomical fees, I mean, they're talking about a significant amount of money. We're only talking about $250, but I think that we should probably find that out, just to be clear.
Right, well, we're not changing,
Anything else?
we're not changing admin, we're not changing the memorial fee. We're not changing the mark out.
No.
The lot costs, these are costs. I like this reworded personally,
Okay.
just because I see full burial lot, so maybe that's.
So a full burial lot
Purchase.
is, it's 4 feet by 8
But
feet.
this is purchase,
Yeah, a purchase.
as opposed, well, yeah, I don't know if that's the right wording, I'm just brainstorming here.
Okay.
Purchase of a full burial lot or a cremation lot.
Okay.
Lot survey, those are all the same numbers.
Yeah.
And the fees for the radar, that's still good?
Yeah.
All
We
right,
haven't done it in a while, so,
all right, so then what we need is,
Basically, we want to just change the weekend fees.
we need to add a line.
yeah, so right here, this would be administration fee for burial, and this should say Monday through Friday,
Okay,
and then
then the same thing.
Saturday.
And we're not doing holidays per the rules.
Right.
Unless it's a crazy circumstance that they can't.
Well, if it's a Jewish burial and we had to do a Sunday, it's only happened one time.
How about the word Saturday or by exception?
Okay, or by exception.
Or by exception. And you're just gonna have to explain that
Okay,
to the people.
yep.
Saturday or by exception. And everybody's happy with?
I think 250 is gonna cover.
What do you think, Cindy?
Because if he's making $35 an hour, he's only at 210. So if he gets raises, which he probably should, then we still got there's still a bunch of
few
money that
years
can
in
cover.
there.
That will cover that for a lot. Because their contract should come up, ours came up every 3 years.
Right, yeah. Although, he's been here a long time, so he's max step, right? In Chatham, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of Liz's contract at the PD, but
Yeah, he might be
she gets
pretty
to a
close
certain
being
point and then
max.
it's like,
Yeah, but you still get
we were
they
there.
still redo
Yeah,
the,
there's a COA and you get a certain.
yeah.
certain
But I mean, it's not gonna be some big gigantic,
Yeah.
and we could always readdress it and say, well, this
Right.
isn't kind of hacking it.
Yep.
All right, so then, are you gonna do Saturday burials?
yeah, I do Saturday burials. I do a lot of the burials.
Yeah.
If in 2 weeks he's gonna have 3 Saturday burials because I have my nephew's wedding, and so I won't be here again. So,
But,
I think we keep it at 250 no matter who does it.
yeah.
right,
And that'll always put a little bit extra in the kitty just for
yeah.
times where
I'm having an
runs a
ethical issue where Jim benefits from this, who doesn't like overtime? And
Right.
it's
Well-
part of your gig, part of your contract? That you
Um,
will come in, does it say that you will be present on Saturdays when available for burial?
I don't know that it's actually in there, but I have to be at all the burials, so that's part of my job.
Yeah, okay.
That's a state requirement, did you say?
Yeah, so usually you have to sign off. So when we get the death certificate, you have to, there's a line that says, you witnessed this burial, it went in this grave, and you sign off, and you have to date it. So it's part of the death certificate.
Okay, well,
And then it's.
This was like your opportunity to say, this isn't fair. But hearing,
It isn't, but I'm gonna do
channel
it
my
anyway.
Michael Ford and go, hearing none. Then so I'll move that we add a line below administrative fee for burials that says administration fee for burials, parentheses, Saturday or by exception, and set the amount at $250. And then amend the first line to say
Monday through Friday.
parentheses M through F, Monday through Friday or something like
And,
that. Yeah.
and did you also want to do,
Should that be regular business hours?
Monday through Friday,
yeah,
normal business hours. Good
Otherwise,
thinking.
if they want an evening burial, that's
Yeah,
out of that
yeah.
40-hour window.
yeah, they did do one that Jim did cover for me once. It was supposed to be at 4:30, and I don't think they showed up till like 5 something. He was like,
The clock starts at
yeah,
4:30,
yeah,
whatever it takes.
yeah, but I mean, you really need them to be,
Yeah, so Monday through Friday should be whatever your hours are.
yeah,
The office hours.
Yeah.
Within that, outside that office, it goes to the 250
right.
amount. Because it accrues other expenses for overtimes and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, so do you want me
Oh,
to?
what about if it's over that? What if it's, so Jim shows up at Saturday appointment and it's supposed to be 10 o'clock burial
Yeah,
and
so
Army Corps of Engineers messes with the bridge.
he had a 1 o'clock burial in Evergreen, and the people were stuck at the bridge. They couldn't get over. So I don't know what time. I didn't even talk to him what time they finally showed up, but he was the other one of the other people that was working with Tom Blute, who had been at the previous burial, said, "Oh, he's still there." I went by to make sure everything was cleaned up at the last one, and he was still waiting.
Yeah, I just go, I'm sorry, no excuse. This needs to be,
So
this needs to be in the fees.
Yeah,
That I don't know how you would do it. I mean,
I
do they
know.
pay in advance? Do they pay in arrears?
No, but I think for the most part, most people are on time. It's relatively within
Rare that
an
happens.
hour. You know, they show up, you're there before, you make sure that the grave space is,
But so 4 hours is enough to cover it?
I think it is. Because and sometimes we'll have two burials on the same day, and he's doing two burials, and we could have an extra little bit in the fund to cover it if we didn't it at a different date. If he had
Two
to stay.
burials, it should be $500
Yeah,
collected.
yeah.
So that's covering
No,
that.
no, no, I'm talking about, so say the next week he only has one burial, but then they show up really late and then he's there for.
No,
yeah,
no, no, no,
Yeah.
no. I'm sorry. We can't do it that way.
Yeah,
No, that. I mean, we can lend each other money and say, well, you're going to pay for breakfast today, aren't you, right? And then I
no,
get.
no, no, so we're only paying him for his hours, whatever Kim submits to me.
Yeah.
So Kim's submitting to me, so if he was there and he worked for 4 hours,
Right.
well, or he worked for an hour, he's paying for 4 hours. But if it went over
The 5 hours.
to 5 hours or whatever,
Yeah.
so depending on which, we would still have.
I want to see your checkbook. So. if,
No, you don't.
all right. So.
Be careful what
So-
you wish for.
So Jim shows up.
Right.
And he's got a round number. He shows up at 10 for a Saturday burial.
Yep.
And they're late. And it takes, how long is it a normal burial for him?
An
or
hour.
you?
An hour.
So the 4 hours covers more
Right.
than enough.
Oh, yes, it does.
Okay, so this is an unlikely scenario.
Unlikely.
Okay, so then we're not robbing Peter to pay
No.
Paul. And
No.
So that scenario is not
No.
going to happen.
No.
However, if he then has a funeral at 10 and a funeral at noon,
Or two.
well, even inside the window,
Right.
overlap,
Yeah.
we're going to collect $500 for Jim.
Yeah.
And that $500 should go to Jim.
No.
See, this is where I'm having, this
Because
is the
we-
airline guy going,
Yeah. No,
you're
so-
paying me to be here and you're paying me to be there.
No. So.
Even though there's overlap, and I can see Joe saying,
Yeah.
well,
No.
that's all right.
No.
But,
So what happens is Kim will send me his pay
so
thing.
he was there for 5 hours.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so
We
we're
just
gonna-
give him
part of the-
we do a line item transfer to cover the payroll, so they don't pay for the payroll.
Okay.
Jim does not get paid. They would not, that would never happen.
Okay, so this,
Pay DPW.
We pay the DPW.
all right, so that
And
we
they pay-
collect $500
Yeah.
that day. We're gonna send 5 times, we're gonna send Jim 4 hour minimum, so he's
Yeah.
gonna get,
What-
what'd you say?
Like 210.
He's gonna get 250 and then another hour, a time and a half, we
Right.
would say.
But normally-
Round number, $75.
But normally, we would be getting a $100 administration fee, which now we're getting $40.
We're getting $40.
Yeah, because if we collect $250, we initially would get a $100 administration fee that goes into cover all the paperwork that I gotta submit and, do everything for the, lot layout and all that stuff. So there are fees that when he covers,
So in those cases where we're double booked or
Right.
overlapped burials, the revolving account will absorb, for lack of a better word, profit.
well, not really profit, because we're gonna lose, if say he does one burial on Saturday, right?
Yeah,
We'll just lost $60, but not really lost, but we just didn't get the 100 that we normally would get for an administration fee. If I did it and it was on a Tuesday, we would get a $100 administration fee. That we would put that $100 into the revolving account, okay? If Jim does one burial on a Saturday, it's $250.
well, so maybe.
And then so
50
210 would be going to DPW, let's just say that.
payroll.
Yeah,
Okay, so-
payroll, we're now only getting $40
So
into
now
the.
I have to ask the new guy question
Yeah.
again. What's $100 for?
The $100 is this is,
You're on salary. I'm playing devil's advocate here.
yeah, it goes into the, I used to get a budget for our department, which we don't. So they said that all of these fees now creates the money that we can spend to do improvements to the cemetery.
I knew you were gonna say that. So, why is the weekend burial fee only $250? It should be $100 cemetery commission administration fee plus the cost for your duly designated representative. Because you're on the weekend on salary and you don't have to be there.
So it should be $100 times 4 hours a time and a half, whoever happens to be doing it.
Well, you could either
Write it that way
do,
instead.
well, if you did, so that's one
I-
way to split the hairs.
Yeah, but that would be, it would change every week. It would be a nightmare for whoever were, so we wouldn't know in advance how to tell the client. So say they go to,
which-
if
No,
it,
no, client from Norwood comes down, we're like to bury grandma on Saturday. Okay, that'll be $100 and it's a 4-hour minimum for our representative.
but, so say it's not Jim and it's somebody else, I wouldn't know his salary. Or say if it was Brian or if it was somebody else, I wouldn't have that number to give them in advance. Like, I don't know, I don't have access to the payroll over at the
Well, but see, that's
DPW.
why we're just picking a number. We know
Yeah.
Pete is less than
Yeah,
Jim because
yeah.
he's a newbie. So we pick the supervisor's pay.
I just think it should be a dollar amount, not a,
That's what I'm trying
Okay,
to come up
all
with.
right, so then I say
Yeah,
we're gonna make
I
it
just-
$350.
yeah,
The administrative fee for the cemetery commission
plus a $250
plus $250 that,
to cover.
Whatever
yeah, I
pay-
mean,
To
the
cover.
only thing that I maybe would compromise on is you go, okay, we'll make it $200. And occasionally we're gonna lose $50
Okay,
because you're gonna send $250 to Kim to cover Jim. Or you said Kim?
210, yeah, 210, gig.
That's at 35 an hour. That was just
Yeah.
a round number.
Yeah, so, I mean, well, first of all, it's, like, we could probably walk out down the hall and get the 22-town report and get a
Yeah.
pretty good idea. It's his
Right.
pay's gonna be in there. I mean, it's not secret,
Nope, it's not.
so,
So I'm gonna make it 3 1/4.
come on, sort through this, you know, it's,
I'm thinking, if I'm ready to bury somebody, I'm going, why are you gonna charge me? How much more? How much more?
yeah. I
It's
get,
like,
Well, that's it, so
Overwhelming
most
for most
people,
people.
most people do it, during the week. I have a lot, I have already have one scheduled for Friday, one scheduled for Thursday. It's people, most of these people are out of towners. They don't live here anymore. They want to do it on the weekend because it's more convenient for them.
and this is gonna sound very crass. If you're willing to ship grandma down here, I mean, I'm not trying to be a gold digger for
Right.
us, but
But we can't go in the
But I will go
hole.
back, yeah, and I will go back to the bottom page here
Yeah,
where our dear friend Robin says we have $108,000 in the revolving account, and Rob says, no, we only have 37.9 in the
yeah,
revolving
right.
account.
Because we have, you know,
So-
encumbrances.
Yeah,
Right.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's like we don't want to give it away.
Right,
So in lieu of no burials on the weekends, which I think is harsh and not the way we
Right.
all
yeah,
want to treat people that need to do that.
Right.
yeah.
It's like, well, look, if it was Monday through Friday, it'd be $100, that's it, because you're here. You want to do on the weekend, we got to bring somebody in, unless it fits with your schedule and your good heart and you decide to do it for free,
yeah,
theoretically.
yeah. Which I do a lot of them.
It's like, I didn't get paid until the airplane door was closed and I released the brakes. But I've been at work for hours with maintenance, flight attendants, all this other stuff.
Right.
That's what I mean by free. So I just think we would not be wrong, even though it may sound a little harsh, greedy. We're not really being greedy. We're saying Monday through Friday, it's $100. Have at it. On the weekend,
We had another.
it's $100.
We had
But
another-
we got to bring somebody in this weekend because you're busy. You're off. It's your day off.
Yeah.
You can't make it. You've got a good excuse, or because of your relationship with the family, you say you'll be there.
Right.
Not a personal relationship, but your interaction relationship which would be your discretion. And I'd be willing to give you that discretion completely. I mean, I'm not your boss, but.
Right. You
as
actually
your-
are.
Yeah, well.
You guys actually are my bosses.
Well, but that was already shot down in a previous private meeting, that it's not completely that way.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so, yeah, so that's where I stand.
So
I'll
the
let you
basic
two
cost is
shut me up.
$100, and the weekend, the only added expense is the time and a half of 4 hours. So it's like, say, $225.
Well,
So
I
if you
would-
get
I
the whole
would-
fee for $325, and then that should cover that for
No, $350.
$350.
Unless you want to really nickel and dime Jim's salary, I mean, we can probably go get it real quick, but,
Nah.
Okay.
so,
What do you want?
I personally think 250 is enough too. I mean, we don't have that many Saturday burials compared to the Monday through Friday. But that's just my thought.
but on those yeah, we don't have that many. I'm just saying that on those burials, we're doing it for free. If we end up having to send 250 for Jim, or we're giving them a discount because Kim says we owe him $210 for Jim
Yeah.
that day, whatever his pay is, whatever that number is. It'd be nice to know what that number is, but
Yeah.
then we're only doing it for $40. Like, why? This is how much it costs to bury a person in town of Hart, $100.
Yeah.
Oh, if you want to do it on the weekend, which is after hours, we might have to bring somebody in. So there's some discretion there. If Robin knows that it's we're bringing Grandma down in the back of the Audi in her urn. Doesn't need a hearse. Doesn't need the full cavalry, caisson, I guess is the word, to bring them down, and use. I get this.
Yeah.
Because they're not made of money or whatever. I'm not saying we're trying to hit the people made of money. I'm just, if you want to use your discretion then and come in on a Saturday.
I think if you guys vote on this, I think it should be the rule though, because then people are gonna be like, well,
How come so big?
yeah, how come you did hers last week and she only got charged $100 and mine's gonna be charged $250? I think if it is on, I think
On a
that's.
Saturday?
Yeah, I think it should be a same price.
Okay, so then,
Only
How
because
much-
it could cause conflict. What if I say I am gonna be there and then I'm not, and then it'll cost us money because Jim has to cover it. I just think that to avoid that, it should just be a fee. That's the way it is in Yarmouth, and that's the way it is in Barnstable, and that's the way
so
it is.
how many Saturdays do we do?
We do a lot of Saturdays in the summer, only because it's most of the time, it's people who have moved away for the most part. They don't live here and they are returning. Somebody has passed away in the last year and they want to do it on the weekends so everyone can fly in or whatever
Right.
to do it. It's more convenient for them.
And how many do you do?
I do almost every single Saturday the entire summer. So I know I went over it with Brian Elby, who works for the DPW, because he was going through, how many Saturdays do you work? And so I printed out my schedule from last year, and there was only 2 Saturdays I did not work. One was the 4th of July weekend. I didn't work, only because I think a lot of the funeral homes and stuff like that didn't want to work. So I think, and Tommy didn't do any burials. So I think it was a lot of the other people didn't want to work that weekend. I didn't want to work that weekend either, to be perfectly honest with you. But, and there was just one other, I think it was like the 3rd week in August for some reason I didn't work.
Do you feel pressure to have to do it on Saturday?
There is a lot of pressure to do it on Saturdays, yeah.
By who? Coming from
By
where?
different family members, because they just can't get people here. So they'll call Tom or they'll call whoever's doing the burial, and they're like, well, we really want to do it on the weekend. And at one point I told you they wanted to start doing them on Sundays, which I was like, no, because I can't work Saturday and Sunday.
Well, yeah, I say it's permanent. It's no matter what, if it's on a Saturday or the by exception, it needs to cover the entire thing. I'm trying to find it. Pay.
What do the other towns get? Do we know?
Well, that's a
I
good
think,
example,
I think Yarmouth gets, a little over 200, I can't remember exactly.
yeah. Flat?
Weekend?
Yeah.
What
I
about
think-
every burial?
They, most of the time, will not do a Saturday. That's their exception. And you have to pay. Most of them are Monday through Friday. They don't do weekend burials. But I think it would be, I mean, we do a lot of weekend burials, so I think it would be a problem if we took that out. I really do.
Right, so I mean, to be fair, I would just like to find the number, so.
Okay.
I mean, if we can drop it,
And
if
then
it
bring
only
it up.
needs to be 200, then it's 200,
Yeah.
you know? But I think that this is just me. I think that every burial, there's a $100 fee.
Right.
Weekends and by exception, there's to cover
Added
the
expense.
event, Jim has to be there. And then I'm gonna find a loophole to pay you. Up your gas mileage. I
I don't
know.
have
You
any-
needed tires,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
your gas does not cover that.
But the price should be the same no matter who's doing this burial on a weekend.
I think so. I don't think we can change it
I'm
for
gonna-
every week. I think
I'm
it'll
gonna
be
have
cause
it
a
here.
rift. I don't think it.
What's his last name?
Oh my God! It's Stratton. I said starts with an S.
TTON?
Yes.
Laptop is getting old.
We could have just.
Come on, girl.
So is
Yeah.
the operator.
Yeah. Come on. I don't want to clean my Mac updating. Just do it. 0. No way. About salary, what's it under?
Want me to just call it Kim?
Salary, well, that would be,
She allowed to tell you.
what department is he in? He's in,
He's
highway?
no, he's actually in cemetery.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I'm researching the 2021 town report.
You want me to just go grab the town book? It's on the desk out there.
Well, it's really where I am, but you could, yeah. Oration. That's fine.
My money's a problem at that point. But even if he was making, say, 40 an hour times 1.5, it's $60 an hour times 4, it's $240, so the 250 would cover that except the regular $100 maintenance administrative fees, which probably should be covered, so that'd be a $300 weekend fee, $350 weekend
Yeah.
fee. No, we didn't ask Caleb if he wanted in on this bet.
We should ask him. He would have got it in a second. Especially if he knew our meeting would end earlier. Okay.
Looking under the cemetery.
I don't know if he was in like a highway breakout from that. DPW. Cemetery. 67,991. Do 67.
Annual?
Yep,
Yeah, we know how much that is. Is that the base pay?
yep.
What was the number?
67,991.
So Jim actually works for the cemetery department.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we paying the DPW?
'Cause I think
Well,
checked
it's
out to that
DPW-cemetery.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to get out of it.
So I guess it would be
I'll divide that by 52.
by 40.
And divide that by 40. It's at 32.60.
And there's probably overtime in there.
Yeah.
So,
No, there's no overtime in there. That's just regular.
oh, that's his regular?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so,
overtime
so now do time and a half for that.
49 bucks.
Times 4? 200.
196.
Huh?
196.
$200.
Okay.
So how about we do,
$300.
and occasionally we may,
That's all right.
I mean, if it went over 4 hours, we may lose something, I guess,
Yeah.
but
But then if she's doing on a weekend, it's still
But if he's-
$300.
then we're ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
200.
are you okay with that?
Sure.
So now we need to change what I suggested.
So it's not, the fee's just not gonna go to 200.
No, the fee's gonna go to 300.
Yeah, it'll
So-
be the additional, the 100 administration fee
Well,
plus.
so now the second line, so administration fee for burials, we don't need the Monday through Friday. That's $100.
I think we do need Monday
Yeah, I
through
would
Friday.
designate that Monday through Friday.
I think it's Monday through Friday, regular hours, regular.
So you're gonna call it just 300? Oh, okay, fine, I'm cool with that too.
Okay,
Monday through Friday, and then below that, administration fee for burials, Saturdays, comma, or by exception,
and
and
additional,
that's $300.
Yeah.
No, just a flat number, $300.
okay,
Administrative.
They don't need to know our accounting,
Okay,
you
all right.
know. It's like going to the clothing store, they don't tell you that they got the goods for 50% of what you see on the ticket,
No less than that.
and it's 50% off. Well, it's really not.
and then do you want me to write purchase under here? Burial lot
Oh, you know,
purchases?
what do you guys think of that? I mean, is that just my crazy brain? Full burial lot
Cremation lot.
per grave,
Or rate cost or some cost of full burial lot is 800, cost of cremation lot is 500.
or if you just added the word purchase,
It's up to you guys.
grammar expert, what would you say? Or do you think that's good the way it is?
No, I'm just thinking something else.
There is no slack
Full
on this
burial,
team.
so if you have
There's
four,
none.
Yeah, but so in our rules and regulations, it tells you you can have up to 4 cremations, but the full burial lot is the dimension. It's 4 feet by 8 feet.
Or maybe we just, if you get, I think what throws me is the word full.
Oh, you want me to,
Burial lot.
So if it
Just
said
burial
burial
lot.
lot,
traditional,
or full body burial.
traditional burial lot?
yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Traditional burial lot, and then cremation lot,
Okay.
yeah.
And then the
Yeah, and I
cremation
like-
lot, I don't think you have to have 2 burials or 2 non-burials written there. That's just the fee for the lot. In our rules and regulations, we can put 2 anyway.
Okay. You want me to take that out?
Or-
I think it just makes it clearer for
It-
them.
Or say accommodates 2 burials.
After cremation lot here?
No, or,
Then you would have to say the resident, the full body.
well, we do say per grave, burial lot per grave, cremation lot, parentheses, per 2 graves.
But in the lot, in our rules, we can put
interments.
a full body plus 1 cremation.
Right.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I would, if you do that,
But
I would just take the 2 burials off the bottom, and that's it. Because they're
I mean, I
buying a
tell them
lot.
anyways,
And
and
then
it says
in
it on
the
there.
Oh, right, so
Regulation,
you're
yeah.
correct,
We'll
because a
divide.
cremation lot is $500.
Yeah,
Right.
And then in the rules, it explains what you can do with that.
Right.
It's like like you said, in the burial lot, well, you can have a burial and a cremation,
Or you can have 4 cremations.
or 4 cremations, so we don't, yeah, okay, so
That
I
should just be, that
agree.
part should just stay in the,
delete the words for 2 burials
yeah.
on both of those lines.
Yep.
and add resident to the top one.
Okay,
Um,
yeah.
okay,
Because you have resident, non-resident on the first one. You might as
yeah,
well
so I don't think we need the word purchase like I had said
Okay,
earlier.
I'll just do traditional.
traditional burial lot.
All right, so then I move that we amend the rules pending whether, the fees, pending whether the selectmen have to approve or not, but I can't see them having a cow with this, but to read administration fee for burials, $100, administration fee for burials Monday through Friday, $100. Beneath that, administration fee for burials, parentheses, Saturday or by exception, $300.
Yep.
Yep.
And then we delete the word full for burial lot per grave. And under cremation, we delete the words for two burials 2 times.
Yep.
And add the word resident to the top.
Oh, yeah, add resident.
Okay.
Were we gonna add the word traditional burial
Yep.
lot?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, and traditional. I didn't have that. Okay, there's a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. Cindy?
All in favor?
Aye.
Right?
Unanimous. Perfect. Okay.
That's quite the discussion.
I know we just have to keep one guy reined in a little bit.
I know, sorry. I really do come here going, I'm just gonna shut my mouth this morning.
It never happens, does it? Okay, we get bills and deeds to sign.
Yes, first we'll give you the deed.
And then the,
Oh, do we need to add, what was that? Atlas.
Oh, yeah, Atlas.
Atlas, just to the
Right.
agenda so that
Yeah.
it ends up in the minutes if we
Yeah.
have to. Atlas preservation,
Yep.
and that is $1,011.78.
So I did, when I talked to Becky this morning from Dennis, she also told me that John Pugia now has been fixing their stones, and he is quite reasonable and doing an exceptional job.
Oh, good.
So she was going to send me over some photographs of a slate stone that he fixed. So that I'll put those in the next packet.
okay. The next meeting, I am not gonna be here on the 6th. We're going camping.
You're going camping?
Yep.
You're just a
It's my
traveler.
birthday, so we're going to, on the 7th is my birthday, so we're going to Rhode Island on camping for
Nice,
3 days.
nice.
So this is June we're talking.
So the next
Oh, and
Tuesday will be the
that's good too,
13th.
because the 6th I have skin surgery.
So do we want to, let me look at my calendar real quick.
13th?
Yeah, we'll be around. 14th is our 43rd anniversary.
Yeah, congratulations.
Awesome.
You guys married in 1980? Yeah, oh, us too. Yeah.
On Flag Day. So I can't straight up forget it.
So we had our first date July 3rd, saw fireworks on the 4th, had to get married on the 5th. 4 years apart. But that's how I never forget my anniversaries.
Jim's actually calling me right now, but I'll
Because he
call
was
him back.
probably watching. So the 13th,
The 13th is,
that's not when you're away, is it?
no, it's the next week.
Yeah, you're away the 19th.
Yeah. All right, so the 13th.
Yep.
I have to change my thing for the agendas. Meeting. And
Assume we can get this room.
Caleb, can we get this room?
June 13th, 9 a.m. Do we outnumber the other group?
Before we adjourn, do we have minutes from last month?
We don't. But we are now testing out this new minute
We'll see how it goes.
taking thing, and we'll see if that, that goes.
So, do you want to adjourn or?
We gotta sign
So we have to sign the deeds and this, and I just have to add on here, I'm gonna add on my room, and then Cindy, you're gonna call me back?
Yeah.
Okay. Find the registration form.
I didn't bring a blue. Do you have an extra blue?
I
only
do.
brought black tonight. I want to be in Robin, is that blue?
Yep.